I really loved watching Cartoon Network stuff, especially in the afternoon, evenings, and Saturday mornings. I watched a lot of anime stuff like Toonami, and really enjoyed the shows they had on there, and Saturday mornings I get to catch up on some Pokemon, and I absolutely love Pokemon even to this day. A show I remember coming on all the time was Hamtaro. I especially saw this on Saturday mornings, and it was a pretty funny show. I didn't watch it too much, but I remember the characters, they were just goofy, and they just have all these weird situations going on. It definitely was entertaining. I noticed there were some Hamtaro games that came out during the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance era, and I've heard about them for a while, and finally was like, you know what the hell? Let's play the Hamtaro game on the Game Boy Color, Hamtaro Ham Hams Unite. I didn't really know what to think of this game. All I heard was it was an adventure game, and I'd be like, oh god, it's gonna be one of those boring, like, edutainment games probably, or something. But I did sit down and play this game all the way through, and want to give my thoughts and opinions on if it's worth your time to check out or not. Sit back, relax, let's talk about Hamtaro Ham Hams Unite for the Game Boy Color. Hamtaro Ham Hams Unite was localized and released in 2002 for the Game Boy Color North America and PAL regions in 2003, developed by Pax Softnica and published by Nintendo. Pax Softnica was a developer that worked closely with Nintendo. They helped them out on several projects back in the 80s and 90s into the 2000s. Notable games to mention here, one that stayed in Japan, Shin Onigashima. This is a reference in Super Smash Bros. For you guys that know that. Even worked on games like Balloon Kid as well as Mole Mania. They're now known as Softnica and they don't work for Nintendo anymore, and matter of fact, this game is actually the last game published by Nintendo for the Game Boy Color. There is a plot to this game, so obviously you play as Hamtaro, which you can name him whatever you want. I named him Gimli because my cat's name's Gimli and he's orange and white as well. You start off in the clubhouse and the boss will tell you that you need to go find the other hamsters that are missing. There's about 12 hamsters in the game and they're all like some of the main characters and they're all just kind of doing their own thing and they lost track of time. You, Hamtaro, need to go find your friends, and also you need to fill up the Ham Chat dictionary, which I will get to in a minute, but it's basically just phrases the hamsters use to talk to each other. See, you can make a game without having to save the world or destroy a huge criminal organization. You can just go gather your hamster buddies and tell them to come back home. After you've done all that stuff and you get into the game, it's pretty simple how it plays. It's pretty much kind of like an action-adventure game, but definitely more emphasis on adventure. You move with the D-pad, holding B is to run, A is your action. You'll use this all the time to do your ham chat and talk to others. Select and start will go to your item menu and you can see all your inventory stuff. The game is set where Hamtaro takes place from the show. The clubhouse is the treehouse that acts as your hub in this game. Then you can go off to other places on a world map kind of deal, like the Acorn Shrines where you start, and other places like the Sunflower Park, etc. You will go through each of these places, conversing with all the other ham hams you see, and finding clues as to where your buddies are located that we can bring them back home. It sounds very pathetically easy, but the whole point here is the ham chat. The ham chat is kind of the gimmick with this game. Ham chat essentially kind of works like keys to roadblocks. If you can't get through something, you'll need a key to find it to unlock it. That's exactly what the ham chat does. You have to learn these phrases from all these hamsters. They do funny things that they say. You'll use that to go somewhere else, and you'll find another clue to find your friends. There are over 80 ham chat phrases in this game that you use. That is insanely wild. It's kind of like Pokemon, but with words. With the huge quantity of ham chat that you have to say to other hamsters, you do have some basic actions that are going to be used all the time. The first one you have is Hamcha. This is basically just a greeting saying hello to other hamsters. The next one is Hif Hif, and you sniff the ground, and you can use this to get the attention of other hamsters sometimes, or you can pick up items off the ground, like sunflower seeds. The third one you have is Tack Q, and you'll use this to tackle trees or objects, and you can knock stuff down, and you can even hit the other hamsters, which I find hilarious. The last one is Dig Dig, and it's essentially what you think it is. It is digging. You can use this to dig underground to find sunflower seeds or something sometimes. You can use this to go inside some small little areas that you'll see, as well as going back to your home base. There's sometimes these holes, and you can use that to escape the place and go back to the clubhouse. You have inventory in this game, but it's not much. You carry items, like key item kind of deals, you'll get random stuff. You can't do anything with it, you just gotta go talk to the right NPC to give an item to what they need. There's not too many primary items in the game. You have sunflower seeds, the most common, and this pretty much acts as currency, or rupees if you'd say. You can use them to buy stuff at the shops, which you don't have to go to technically, it's just accessories. But you'll need it also to pay tolls sometimes to get through stuff, so to a degree it is a requirement. You also find acorns and rocks, and I never really had to use rocks to be honest with you, but you use that stuff to trade items with other hamsters to get stuff, mainly for side quests. You can also view your journal to see all the different ham chat you've acquired, as well as the hamsters you've saved so far. There are so many different scenarios in this game where you have to use ham chat, and some funny results happen. In the first part of the game, you can sniff around this bush, and this girl with a flower will come out and give you an item. This one's very interesting. There's this girl that talks about being a Hollywood star by the pool, and she wants a drink. You go over to the bar to get a drink for her, and as the bartender is getting the drink to give it over to her, you can go behind the counter to unplug this thing to where the water will stop moving so you can catch this guy. These two friends are having this issue at the market, and you talk to one of the friends who's working on an ice sculpture, and he turns out to get frozen, and the other friend hears about it, and you have to help both of them become friends again. This one here, this guy, you keep on trying to get him to come back to the clubhouse, but he refuses, so when you finally get to the top of the ruins, aka the junkyard, you gotta play this tack cue bowling thing, and you have to hit these balloons and win this prize for him, then he finally goes home. This is literally how the entire game is. You just do all these random things, talk to these other hamsters, and these funny results happen. It's really cool and very entertaining. Other random things that you can do in this game are you can actually buy from these shops that you'll see all the time, these accessories, and honestly they don't do anything for you. These accessories are just cosmetic, and you can just go to like this wardrobe, customize Hamtaro, and take a picture if you want to. That's about it. There's also the dance hall too at the clubhouse, and you'll gather music sometimes as a collectible, and you can use that to go to the dance hall and listen to it. This game for sure pushes exploration, and it can get a little confusing sometimes towards the end of the game what to do, but for the most part the game is pretty easy overall. You just talk to people. I mean, heck, there's no combat in this game. Your only real challenge is figuring out where to find the ham hams, so it's not too bad on the difficulty. To give you my honest opinion, I had a lot more fun than I thought I would have with this game. It's a really well-made game here. It's really fun to adventure around, kind of just talk to everybody and see what they have to say, and using the ham chat to get different results with everything you choose to say. They did a pretty good job with the localization in this game, so with that, all the text is just enjoyable to read, and it can lead to a clue to progress through the game. It's also one of the best looking Game Boy Color games I've ever seen. It really is pixel perfect. Hamtaro is detailed very well, the animations are awesome, and you can tell they put a lot of work into this. It's got a very catchy soundtrack. I swear this music playing has been in my head for a few days. The best part of this game is it captures the source material perfectly, literally everything from the show, but also keeps its source of being an action-adventure game, but having its own identity on how it plays. Sure, there's no combat or bosses, like I said earlier, but that's not really the point of this game. This game is really just to have a fun, cute little time here, just seeing everything, and solving the puzzles. Slight setbacks I will say though, this game needs a map in some areas, not terrible, I mean it's kind of easy to know where to go sometimes, but it would have been a nice touch, in case you missed out on an area you couldn't get to before. Again, the clothes was kind of just a wasted opportunity. You can customize your Hamtaro and take a picture. Why can't you wear this in the overworld? It would have been a nice touch. Lastly, it's kind of hard to see sometimes what you can interact with. Considering it's a Game Boy Color game, it's just kind of hard to tell if you can go to another area or not, if there's a wall, or what you do. It's very rare, and that's kind of subjective. Some of you guys might think that's not a problem, but just kind of wanted to point that out. I ran into that a couple of times. This game is not for everybody. If you don't like games that don't have combat and are incredibly text heavy, you're gonna hate this game. Do not play it. But if you like action-adventure type of games with a lot of text and figuring out what to do, this is a game you have to play, especially if you like Game Boy Color games. Hell, Shigeru Miyamoto produced this game. Yeah, that guy, the Mario guy. It's just crazy to think that this game was in the hands of Nintendo. This game hasn't been re-released or anything, obviously. It's only on the Game Boy Color, as we know today. It's about $30 or so loose, depending on where you live, so not that bad of a price. Well, that's all I've got to say about this game. I'm gonna go watch some Hamtaro now since I'm feeling inspired, and get me a good old big fat bowl of Fruit Loops. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you got anything to say, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you got. Until next time, y'all take it easy.